You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. All right, folks, let's now go to Texas. Rooha Hagar, this year's class valedictorian at Emmitt J. Conrad High School in Dallas, tweeted this out yesterday. My valedictorian speech was cut short because I said the names of black children who had become victims of police brutality. Our principal signaled for my mic to be turned off as soon as I said Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice and played it off as a technical difficulty. Pathetic. Folks, here's the video that she posted.
To the kids that were murdered in senseless mass shootings, to Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and all the other children who became victims of injustice.
Sorry for the mic inconvenience, but that's our valedictorian again for Rooha.
Folks, I sent an email to Principal T. Asmaram, but haven't received a response. See, here's what's so shameful about this. We were just talking about the First Amendment. We were talking about how we want young folks to be involved in public policy, speaking to the issues. And what that young woman tweeted out was actually her full speech, what she tweeted out and what she talked about. And she said that that's really what she was referring to. She was trying to give a message to her class why it was critically important for them to use their voices to be agents of change. But see, what you have is you have these punk principals, like this particular principal right here, who has no guts, who's decided that he was going to cut off her speech. One, he made himself look like an ass by doing so because, see, now we're discussing him looking so pathetic. And you know what? If I was a student or even if I was a parent at that school, I would be outraged. I'll be outraged that you are so weak and pathetic, Principal Asmaram, that you can't even allow the student to say that. Now, here's the deal. You hear the principal right there. He's not actually born and raised in the United States. He's interested. How would you feel if she was discussing your country of origin? See, that's what I find to be pretty interesting. Here you have an Iranian refugee talking about what happened to two black boys. And this principal was offended. What's more offensive is the fact that Trayvon Martin never finished high school. See, Trayvon Martin never had the opportunity to actually give one of those speeches. Trayvon Martin never had the opportunity to walk across that stage and shake the principal's hand and get their high school diploma. Tamir Rice was killed when he was 12. Never had the opportunity to actually be a valedictorian, to give a speech, to get his diploma as well. But see, this is the problem that we have here because you have principals like him who are dictators, principals like him who are like the butthole who was in the movie The Breakfast Club. Principals like him are the ones how they disrespect students. But what's amazing is you actually stood up and lied about technical difficulties when we saw you given the signal to cut the mic off. So here's my message to all future valedictorians. The moment you want to give your speech, if you anticipate your principal doing that, bring a bullhorn. That's right. I would have one stashed somewhere on the stage. So the moment an idiot like that decided to cut my speech off, grab the bullhorn and finish giving your speech. Now, first of all, what the hell are they going to do? Snatch your high school diploma? It's a sheet of paper anyway. It really don't matter. The problem we have in this country is that we have weak leaders. We have leaders who say they want next generation students to be involved in things and they really get going, but they really don't. Well, they really speak to their own values. And for this principal, his values suck. When I'm in Dallas, where I still own a home, I would love to cross paths with this principal. I would love to hear what he has to say. But you know what I would really love to hear? I would love to hear what the school board members have to say. I would love to hear what elected officials there have to say to this particular principal and what he did. Shame on you, Principal Asmaron, for what you did. Because what you should have done was allowed her to speak and speak truth, as opposed to shut it down because you're too weak and intimidated by her using the power of her voice. I think, Jason, you want to make a comment there?
Yeah, I did. The thing I would have loved to have heard is the speech in its entirety.
She posted it.
That's what I. Oh, she did.
Posted the whole speech.
Okay,
But
I would have liked to have seen her deliver it.
Yeah, but can we just clear up the fact that Trayvon Martin was not a victim of police brutality? I mean, I wish he had not colored history in that way. He was not a victim of police brutality.
He was a victim of a guy.
Tamir, right.
Trayvon Martin was the victim of a guy who was a fake, who wanted to be a cop. So the bottom line is, he was killed by a wannabe. Go ahead, Jason.
Part of the problem with the Sanford Police Department was the way they handled the case. That's what caused the outrage, was really how the Sanford Police Department handled the case, let a man go who had just shot someone in the chest.
And also, of course, Republicans in Florida are supporting Stand Your Ground law. Kelly.
No, I absolutely agree. Every person of color doesn't get it. And this is definitely an example of that. Just because you are a minority in this country doesn't necessarily mean you understand minority issues, specifically African-American minority issues. And even if you do have an idea, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll do something about it in the positive light. And this principal is definitely an example of that, and it's shameful because considering who the high school is named after, it's named after a black Dallas surgeon who was a World War II vet, did a lot of civil rights activism in the Dallas area, to my understanding. And, you know, his legacy is nothing but being a change maker and a way maker and everything that young woman was trying to convey.
And here's what she actually said, folks. To Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and all the other children who became victims of injustice, to the kids across the globe affected by war, famine, persecution, and child labor who have lost years of education due to hunger, displacement, lack of finances, and lack of educational resources, I'm sorry. You see, tonight is a celebration of our achievements, yes, but it is also a reminder of all the work that needs to be done. And as much as I hate to say this, class of 2019, we just might be the future. So no matter which path you take in life or where you end up in the next decade, remember, you have an obligation to your community and to the world at large. That is a message any principal should say, I once said, but not this weak scrub. Malik, final comment.
I agree. I don't personally have a problem with the speech itself. It seems as if that the principal may have known that she was going to make the comments. I don't know if they gave them.
Yeah, she probably.
Yeah, it was approved. It has to be approved.
Well, it was written.
Yeah. So it seems like that's part of the history, and as I guess at that point he said, okay, well, you're not going to say it. I wish I can say that I'm, really like moved by this. I'm not, simply because I see the things that are happening in my own community with the 20 people who were just shot. So I'll say to Tamir Rice and Trayvon Martin, I'll say his name, Maurice Scott. I think that's his name. He was the 15-year-old who was shot less than probably 2 minutes from my house. Those are the things that move me. I mean, the fact that she wasn't able to give the names in the speech, okay, that's bad. But considering the things that are happening in my community, I just can't bring myself to get overly rattled by.
Well, first of all, this is not overly rattled. It's called covering a story. And what it also means is, speaking to that particular issue, what it also goes to, it goes beyond even the very issue there of what she was talking about, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, the guy you mentioned as well. What this also goes to is what happens when you have a country, when you have teachers and principals who say one thing but do another. So even if you remove that issue off the table, what this also deals with is the fact that we want young folks to be leaders, yet we have individuals who don't want them saying things that leaders actually say. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that pisses me off as somebody who's a journalist who believes in the First Amendment, who believes in what it means, and guys like this have no business leading young people because he's also a fraud. And that is, it's a simple speech. And again, anybody who read the whole speech, she didn't slam, trash, condemn anybody. She was actually giving them a charge. And what he should have done is allow it to go. But again, that's the problem. We got snowflakes like this guy who are scared of actually young people speaking truth. And but y'all also notice, let me go ahead and pull it back up, please. Y'all also notice that when she mentioned the Baha'i youth of Iran, he said nothing. When she mentioned kids murdered in senseless mass school shootings, he said nothing. But when she mentioned 2 black kids, then he had a problem. Yeah, that'll piss me off. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, they're back. MarijuanaStock.org has another great investment opportunity. If you were lucky enough to invest in their last crowdfunding campaign, you know they raised a lot of money in just a few months investing in legal marijuana farms. Those initial investors now own shares of a publicly traded company. They're on fire, folks, and last time you may have missed out. You don't want to miss out this time. Now they have a new investment opportunity that is as good, if not even better, than the last. I'm talking about industrial hemp CBD. Now, for those who don't know, the hemp plant is the cousin to marijuana with a much higher concentration of CBD, which means hemp CBD gives you all of the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Now, until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill Congress passed, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S., is creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all of the plants. This makes for an incredible investment opportunity, and that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is very simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. You can invest in the crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200 up to $10,000. You may not want to miss out on this one, folks. All you got to do to invest is go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. You can get in the game, and you should do it now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.